Hey guys, what's up? I'm here to do an album review just for you. I'm Camera and this is Camera Music TV. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe down below to my channel, like the video, and share the video on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, through your text messages, whatever. Just share the video. This is something that I do every once in a while. We're going to try to pick it back up. I'm going to try to start some kind of segment like they do on the radio where they pump it or dump it or blast it or pass it, or, you know, something like that. I got to think of a clever name, maybe blast or pass or, you know, something. But we're going to start doing that every week with different songs that get released. Now, of course, if an album gets released, then we're going to do a whole entire album review. So this review is on David and Tamela Mann's Us Against the World. David and Tamela Mann, otherwise or also known as Cora from All the Madea Plays, and Mr. Brown, have been married for 30 years. So they've been going on all different types of social media outlets. They've been going on all different type of platforms like The Breakfast Club, The Wendy Williams Show, and The Real, just talking about their memoir that's just been released and their new album, Us Against the World. They got t-shirts on, they're in their camo because they are, what did they say? They're on war, or they're raging in war against anything that comes against the family unit. So I really think it's really cool, you know, to have sort of like a time capsule album of, you know, marking how long you guys have been together. They renewed their vows and had a big wedding at 25 years. And they're just a relatable couple, super, you know, friendly, nice, from what I could tell, you know, through the interviews. But they're just lovable and relatable. And, you know, we all know them. You know, if you grew up on those Tyler Perry plays, Madea, then you remember seeing Cora all the way from Diary of a Mad Black Woman. I remember watching the behind the scenes, and Tyler Perry was saying that, you know, Tamela didn't want to act. She was uncomfortable in it. She mentioned that in her Breakfast Club interview. But look at what it blossomed to be. So she mentions how, you know, David really pushed her to act and Tamela really pushed him to sing, you know, more lately, because they both used to sing for Kirk Franklin. I remember on Now Behold the Lamb, sang Tamela, sang David. So they have been doing it for a long time. So it's just refreshing to see it kind of come full circle and see them actually put some stuff out. Now, they are funny, they are hilarious. I would appreciate a reality show, but at the same time, you know, these reality shows be breaking people up. We don't need a reality show because, you know, they're funny on Instagram, they're funny on their own respective shows, and they can offer so much more. That's just my opinion. So, this Us Against the World album. Alright, so I got the album cover back here, and Tamela looks great. You know, she could do no wrong to me. I mean, she always looks good, all the different hair that she has. It's so funny calling her Tamela because my mom's name is Tamela. So I almost want to say Miss Tamela or Cora. I don't really want to call her Tamela or Mrs. Mann. Anyway, she looks beautiful. The album cover is beautiful. The album is about 30 minutes long, 10 tracks. So some of the tracks that I really enjoyed, I enjoyed the first beginning, You.
Take your love away from me. You are the apple of my eye.
Thank David.
Cause of you.
Come on, Tamela. So I like You. You is the opening of the album, and I like that first beginning. I like that. Okay. So if I was on my little segment, if we were doing our little new segment, we would say blast it. That means turn it up because we like it. Next track, Ups and Downs. So from what I saw, let me get my notes. Open. Ups and Downs is really about love. You know how when you're on those highs, you're really on those highs, those mountains, everything is going great. And then when you're in those valleys, how down it could really be. And you know, the reason why I love this album, pause my review, not that other meaning of pause, but it's because it's just about real life. And you know, we're so used to them being gospel singers that it was refreshing to get like an R&B album from a couple who's actually had real stuff going on, and they're not sugarcoating nothing, because a lot of times you know, Christians or people, you know, who believe in the Lord or who are gospel artists, they kind of sugarcoat the turmoil. And us younger people that are newlyweds, we need something to look forward to or something to look up to when it comes to marriage, because stuff do get hard. You are learning to work with someone who is not yourself. As you're becoming self-aware, you're becoming more aware of that other person and more aware of the unit and where you guys are going, where you're from, you know, all of that. So let's get back to this review.
Ups and downs, and I love you more after everyone.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's why I easy, but we make it through other.
Come on, Harmony.
It ain't been perfect, but we both.
Yes. Plastic. The next one is Good Love.
You stood by me even when I wasn't myself.
I'm glad you stood by me even when I wasn't myself. Oh yeah. That's powerful right there. That's powerful. And it's hard to do. Trust me. I like the song. I'm not gonna blast their past because I love them both. I love the album, but it was just kind of, you know, it was kind of okay. I like this song more for the words than I do the melody. It's just kind of vibing, you know. This song, I Love You. If you got their book or their memoir, which I need to get, it's a few books I need to get this week. Becoming Michelle, Charlemagne's book, is it Shook One? It's about the mental health. And David and Tamela Mann's memoir, Us Against the World, because see, I didn't realize it was a memoir and an album. Anyway, David Mann talks about the knock at the door, and it's about when the constable came by to let him know that he had another child, a 5-year-old child. This is when Tamela and David have been married for 5 years. And so Tamela explains that they were really close friends back in the day. So she actually knew the woman who had the baby. She was there for his other child outside of the marriage because they were really close friends, and then they ended up getting married. So, you know, she's very real about how she felt about it. She needed time to process through her emotions. And so this song is just kind of like his talk, and it's very like Jaws type of jarring type of instrumentals going on. And it just lets you know that it's real, but it's scary. Can you imagine being married to somebody 5-6 years? You know, they got married at like 22 or 23. And so that's really before you even get into all the like, not mistakes, but you know, drama of life. And so you think that you kind of got with this person before they even had a chance to do all that. But, well, obviously he had another child before that, but it's kind of like, it'll just shock your world and stop your world because everything is going great. And then you realize like, he's not really wrong because he didn't know. This is before her, and he didn't know that the child was his, but at the same time, it's like, okay, this is going to change our world. And what are the motives of the girl? What, like, I need time. So, Mrs. Mann, I would have needed a trip. I would have needed a drink, a trip, a massage, just some prayer, everything. But this song talks about that.
Time to breathe, yeah. Please pray with me, yeah.
Yeah, y'all hear that instrumental?
I love you. Be the one to go out and play me.
Yeah.
See, you were my king, I was your lady.
So this is real conversational. It's about that whole conversation, basically a turning point in their marriage, because now it's not so picturesque or perfect the way that they wanted it to be. Very important. Very important. Next is Making Up. like Waking Up. It's very feel good. I could see a video of, you know, Tamela just standing there just looking beautiful, and then, or them two like they are on the album cover, just, you know, kissing, and, you know, So this song talks about never giving up. It's easy to give up. It's hard to get through it. You know, in their interviews, they're talking about arguing effectively. And, you know, I always be saying stuff needs to be talked about so that we get an understanding of where to go, how to move forward, right? So that's what they were talking about in the interview, and it ties into this song. Arguing effectively, not to see who's right, not to get your point across, to get an understanding of how to move forward. That's effective. That's how you do that. Okay, so I like this song just because of that, just because of the message, the meat of it all, okay?
I think you have no idea.
Sing, Tamela, this just feels like.
How impressed I am with your form of chivalry.
So Feels Like sounds like just the romanticism of the relationship. If you notice, the album moves like kind of climax and then comes on down. So it moves to the issue, to the knock at the door, and then it dwindles on down to making up and, you know, learning new things, learning new lessons, and realizing that, you know, let's get romantic, let's get fresh, let's do fun things, let's get it back going. Next is Still Do. What I did notice is some of these songs are just Tamela or just David, and a lot of them are together. I like that also. I know on Beyonce and Jay-Z's album, Everything Is Love, I did wish that there would have been more songs just Beyonce, just Jay-Z. So on these collab albums, I like to get a just Tamela, just David, you know, and then get some together.
We say still, strong and still, I love you.
Yeah, I like that. I like that little place. We stay still. Yeah, I like, I even do the blast it or pass it, blast it. So far, I just love the album. I love love. I love black love. I love any love. But I just love, take a drink every time I say love. I just love that this is like a time capsule. This is like, we made it to 30 years. Let's take it back. So this is going to help renew the relationship, because now they're going back, looking back on their relationship, all the things that they've been through, all the things that they've succeeded at, maybe failed at, lessons, all of that. And they put it into an album and a book, and now it's like going to help them for the next 30 years. Next we got Signs. Kind of got a rock feel. Come on. Yeah, I like that one. I like Signs. It was real like Tina Turner giving me like a rock feel, like doom doom doom. Did y'all like it? The second to last track is Mason Jar, and it features, I don't know if this is their daughter, Tamela Mann, and when Tamela explained Mason jar, a Mason jar usually in the South, or whenever it's used properly, because I use them as cups around here, but people use them to preserve things. So she used that as an example. You know, she was used to being this shadow girl, the girl that was never like really out on dates or out with people that she liked or had interest in. And so when she met David, you know, he took her out. When they finally, not met him, when they became a thing, he took her out on a date, and she felt like this was the man for her, and so she wanted to keep him in the mason jar. Am I getting that right? Like, preserve the relationship and preserve them, because this was the one.
Blending together, you got me convinced, and a love's a perfect good existence.
Like I said, said, Mason Jar is a love song for real, for real. I could see somebody coming down the aisle to this. I don't know if people already are getting started. Y'all know my wedding is coming up in February. If you didn't know, now you know. And the song I come down the aisle to, this sounds like it. Like, you are just revealing all the beautiful imperfections in your man, and you know, everything that y'all been through, where y'all are at right now, and how you just hope that you can preserve it in this mason jar, put it up on the shelf for everyone to see, and you know, just keep that going, keep it flowing, so that in the next 20 years, now I don't know what jelly or whatever you put in a mason jar and it's still good 20 years, but y'all get the gist. Putting it in that mason jar and then opening it up and getting those same memories, those same laughs, those same feelings. So mason jar is, it's beautiful.
Like my grandmother's girl, like my favorite toy as a little girl. I cherish the moments when I'm by your side. Like a
yeah. All right, so the very last track on the Us Against the World album is called Us Against the World. Let's hear it. Oh, it's a sample.
It seems like just the other day.
Hey.
can't deny how well we go together.
Hey.
I love the way you keep me motivated. You
Yeah.
And we try to say
Yes, 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 yes. We went through all the tracks. I let y'all hear a snippet of each thing. It's your job now to go get the album, because I say blast it. It's a good one. It's a shoe-in. Whether you're married or you ain't married, whether you're single, whether you're dating, whether you engaged, or whether you're just trying to figure it out because it's confusing or complicated. This album is great. I love it. Okay, so what I really also love is that Tamela's just being herself. She is just singing. Her voice is like butter. It's like silk. And David is singing from his heart as well. You don't ever get the feeling that someone's overpowering someone. Someone's trying to shine with their vocals. Somebody's doing too much. It's very authentic and sincere. And I don't know these people from a can of paint. I don't know them at all. But just the vibe that they give off in the projects that they do and the things that they do is just a great one. And maybe it's because I associate them with Cora and Mr. Brown also. But I love the album. The musicality is enjoyable. The instrumentation of it all. The harmonies, the ad-libs, the runs. You know, the different feels of each song. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So the question is, what do you think about this album? Leave down in the comment section below what you thought about Us Against the World, David and Tamela Mann. Subscribe to my channel like I told you guys before. Make sure you follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Camera Music TV, and I'll see you guys in the next music review. Bye.